It's Tuesday, October 13th, and the time for your Barbados Today morning news update. Prime Minister Mia Mottley was well within her rights to propose a series of live political debates for the upcoming by-election for the St. George North constituency. That's according to former chairman of the Electoral and Boundaries Commission, Sir Philip Serow, who contends it is not a proposal which requires the approval of the commission. The Prime Minister came under heavy criticism from some quarters shortly after making the announcement 2 Fridays ago that there would be 3 live political debates televised on the state-owned Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation to be organized by the Barbados Association of Journalists and Media Workers. But in an interview with Barbados Today, Sir Philip, who served as chairman of the commission from 1994 to 2008, maintained that there was no requirement for the Prime Minister to consult the commission before making the suggestion ahead of the November 11 by-election. The Barbados Fire Service is in need of a few more good men and women. That's according to Chief Fire Officer Errol Maynard, who said firefighters have been working feverishly to deliver services to the public despite having to operate with inadequate numbers. Maynard made the disclosure yesterday, moments after handing out letters of appointments to fire officers at the General Post Office located in the city.
Currently, we have 23 recruits in training. They're supposed to pass out around the first week of December. That will give us approximately 207 or so. And our comfortable estimation is approximately 240. So we still on about 13 plus officers which are working. Yeah.
Does that switch back to you that was 30?
But yes, it's obvious that any shortage will set us back, but in a situation we cannot sit down and roll over. We have to be resilient as we are and find ways and methods of serving you, the public, in the best way possible. It will cause a lot more strain on the officers who are there, but we try our best because to recruit a fire officer takes approximately 6 months.
Maynard also reported that there was an increase in house fires during the COVID-19 lockdown. However, he said the overall number so far this year is still lower than the same period last year.
It was not as busy as last year. What I can tell you is that during the lockdown period, we had an increase of fires. It was amazing to us, but we had an increase of house calls for house fires during the lockdown period. But overall, we are approximately 200 fires less than last year. So we have less calls overall, but just there was a spike during the lockdown period. I believe that because more people are at home, they're using a lot more electrical devices, a lot more stress on the system. And people were frustrated, they're finding something to do, and they probably made a lot more mistakes.
The legal fraternity is hoping that High Court decisions that have been outstanding for several years will be expedited when Queen's Counsel Patterson Cheltenham takes over as Chief Justice next month. President of the Barbados Bar Association, ROSALIND SMITH-MILLAR, said her organization is looking forward to meeting with the legal luminary who officially starts work on November 1st. She declined to say, however, what initiatives she wants to discuss with the Chief Justice designate, but indicated that the continued delay in delivering judgments is one of the major concerns she hopes he can resolve sooner rather than later.
I think it would be a little premature to get into that right now.
Okay.
Out of respect for him and what his agenda may be. I think I'd like to meet with him first. But of course, the bar does have concerns about the outstanding decisions of the court. Some of them going back many years. This is something we took up with the former Chief Justice, unable to get it resolved. But we're going to tackle it again. And we also have, I think, to look at what resources are put at his disposal to deal with some of the issues within the court system.
The legal fraternity has also welcomed Cheltenham's appointment.
We are quite happy with that. I think he has a good skill set to bring to the job. He's well respected. His integrity is unchallenged. I know he has great plans for the administration of justice. and the bar is certainly looking forward to engaging with him on a variety of topics that affect the operation of the courts, the registries, the magistrates' courts, and I think he will bring the necessary energy and perspective to the office.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To developments around the region, in Belize, law enforcement authorities will last night on the hunt for several escaped prisoners. They are now considered as armed and dangerous after they were able to disarm a prison guard of his weapon, and the public is being asked to be extremely vigilant. The prison CEO, Virgilio Murillo, gave an update of the prisoners on the loose at a press conference last night.
There are 28 prisoners, correct, that escaped, who escaped?
Yes. Well, I noticed, what I tallied just now, I saw that there were like 13 who had been in prison, either remanded for murder or convicted of murder. I think 3 was convicted for murder. And those are the ones that I would consider armed and dangerous. The others were here for things like robbery and burglary. Some of them doing a 7-year or a 10-year sentence, and they are way into it already. May have probably a 7 years or so or less to complete their sentences. So that is pretty much the makeup.
And finally, suggestions by some to just allow COVID-19 to spread in the hope of achieving so-called herd immunity is not sitting well with the chief of the World Health Organization. In fact, WHO Director Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus says to allow a dangerous virus that the world does not fully understand to run free is simply unethical.
Around the world, we're now seeing an increase in the number of reported cases of COVID-19, especially in Europe and the Americas. Each of the last 4 days has been the highest number of cases reported so far. Many cities and countries are also reporting an increase in hospitalizations and intensive care bed occupancy. Never in the history of public health has herd immunity been used as a strategy for responding to an outbreak, let alone a pandemic. It's scientifically and ethically problematic. Allowing a dangerous virus that we don't fully understand to run free is simply unethical. It's not an option. But we do have many options. There are many things that countries can do and are doing to control transmission and save lives. It's not a choice between letting the virus run free and shutting down our societies.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.